How do Days of Our Lives stars really feel about their characters? In the ever-turning world of Days of Our Lives, where resurrection is a possibility and amnesia is a frequent visitor, the line between actor and character can seem as fluid as the waters of the Salem River. For viewers, these icons are synonymous with their on-screen personas. Deidre Hall is Dr. Marlena Evans. Drake Hogestyn is John Black. But behind the dramatic close-ups and the labyrinthine plot twists lies a more nuanced, deeply human relationship, a decades-long dance of embrace, frustration, stewardship, and profound identity. So, how do the stars of Days of Our Lives really feel about the characters they've often portrayed for 30, 40, or even 50 years? The answer is as complex as a Salem storyline, revealing a tapestry of emotions that evolve from mere role to cherished alter ego, and sometimes to a legacy that transcends the individual. The embraced alter ego. She is me, and I am her. For many legacy actors, the character becomes an inextricable part of their own identity, a journey of mutual growth. Deidre Hall, the iconic Marlena Evans, exemplifies this fusion. Having played the role since 1976, Hall doesn't just portray Marlena. She embodies her grace, resilience, and intelligence. In interviews, she often speaks of Marlena with a sense of pride and ownership as a cherished facet of herself. Marlena's compass is so true, Hall has said. She's been a psychiatrist, a mother, a wife, a possession of the devil, and through it all, she strives for goodness. Playing that for so long, it becomes a part of your own ethos. This embrace isn't passive. Actors like Hall and the late, great Francis Reed, Alice Horton, became the guardians of their characters' core integrity, often collaborating with writers to ensure actions felt true to the person they'd spent a lifetime building. The character becomes a vehicle for their own values, and in turn, the actor lends the character their own soul. Drake Hogestyn's journey with John Black mirrors this. From amnesiac pawn to heroic ISA agent and family patriarch, Hogestyn has grown alongside John. He often infuses the character with his own physicality and wry humor. For these veterans, the set is a second home, and their on-screen families are extensions of their own. The love for the character is inseparable from love for the craft, the history, and the fans who have welcomed them into their living rooms for generations. The protective frustration. I would never do that. However, this deep connection can lead to creative friction. Soap opera plots, by necessity, are extreme. When a writer's directive forces a beloved character to act against their fundamental nature, actors can feel a visceral sense of betrayal, not just for themselves, but for the audience. Stephen Nichols, who has played the complex and brooding Stefan Di Mera and his various incarnations, has openly discussed moments of pushback. You read a script and think, Stefan would not say this. He wouldn't be this gratuitously cruel. Nichols has remarked, this protective instinct is a mark of an actor's commitment. They are the character's first and most passionate advocate. The late Joseph Massey, ex-Mickey Horton, and others have recounted going to the producers' offices to argue for their character's integrity, sometimes winning, sometimes having to find a way to make the unbelievable believable. This frustration is born not of ego, but of stewardship. When an actor has nurtured a character for years, they feel responsible for maintaining the audience's trust. A wildly out-of-character action can break the spell, and the actor is left to pick up the pieces and rehabilitate the relationship with viewers. As one longtime star once quipped off record, you learn to love them even when they make terrible decisions. Just like family, the liberating mask, finding freedom in fiction. Conversely, for some actors, the sheer fictionality of Salem is the ultimate playground. It allows them to explore shadows and extremes they wouldn't in their own lives. James Reynolds, Salem's venerable Mayor Abe Carver, has spoken about the honor of portraying a man of such steady principle and dignity for over 40 years. Yet, he also acknowledges the fun in the occasional dive into melodrama. For actors in more villainous roles, this liberation is the juice. The late, great John Aniston, Victor Kiriakis, reveled in Victor's delicious ruthlessness, his eyes twinkling with menace. For him, Victor was a mask that allowed him to explore power, manipulation, and wit in a safe, fictional space. Similarly, Billy Flynn, Chad Dimera, and Paul Telfer, Xander Cook, have expressed the fun of getting to be the bad boy, to snarl, scheme, and then, perhaps, find redemption. The character becomes a separate entity, a fascinating, often frustrating, creature to pilot, but not one they necessarily confuse with themselves. It's a job of craftsmanship, where the challenge is to make the outrageous compelling, the emotional anchor in a changing world. For many, their character has been a constant in a life of personal and professional change. Mary Beth Evans, Kayla Brady, has described Kayla as her touchstone. Through marriages, children, and life's ups and downs, showing up to be Kayla provided a unique stability, a familiar script in an unfamiliar world. The character's history, her relationships with Stephen Nichols, and her family became a second narrative running parallel to her own. This is a common sentiment among the Days family. The character is a legacy project, a living history they are responsible for curating. When Allison Sweeney, Sami Brady, returned for visits after years away, she described slipping back into Sammy's skin like putting on a perfectly broken-in, dramatic pair of jeans. The connection, though paused, was never severed. The character is an emotional and professional anchor, a testament to a career's endurance in a fickle industry. Passing the torch and saying goodbye, the ultimate test of this relationship comes with departure. For some, leaving is a painful but necessary amputation to pursue other dreams. For others, it's a retirement. The farewell is often not just to a job, but to a piece of their identity. When actors like Peggy M.C. Caroline Brady, or Suzanne Rogers, Maggie Horton, who has played Maggie for over 50 years, speak of their roles, it's with a tone of profound gratitude and love. Rogers has weathered every storm with Maggie, from addiction storylines to becoming Salem's moral center. Maggie is her life's work. She's taught me about resilience, Rogers has said. We've kind of grown up together. And for those whose characters are killed off, a more permanent fate in today's soap landscape, the grief can be surprisingly real. They mourn not just the paycheck, but the future stories, the loss of that daily connection to a fictional soul they helped breathe into being. Conclusion: a mirror reflecting a lifetime. Ultimately, for the stars of Days of Our Lives, their characters are more than roles. They are mirrors, companions, projects, and legacies. They are vehicles for artistic expression and sometimes for personal growth. The relationship is dynamic, shifting from love to frustration, from ownership to liberation, across decades. In an age of fleeting entertainment, this decades-long dialogue between actor and character is unique to the soap opera genre. It creates a depth of portrayal that no limited series can match. When we watch Marlena offer wise counsel, or John Black square his shoulders to face danger, or Maggie Horton offer a comforting smile, we are witnessing not just a performance, but the culmination of a lifelong partnership. We are seeing an actor love, defend, and understand someone who is both wholly themselves and entirely other, a magic trick that is the true, beating heart of Salem. The feelings are as deep, conflicted, and enduring as any love story ever told in Horton Town Square.